bro, why you leaving? Why you leaving? He would give him all the reason. He's like, yo, bro, the last reason for real was you called me a. You know what this response was like? Who said that? Who said that? Who said that? What? Keep it a buck, bro. That's not the reason you left FaZe. Keep it a buck. Don't put that on me, bro. You know I'm going through a lot, bro. You know I love you.
You know I'm going through a lot. Yo, what? You just called me a. What are we talking about? I don't care if you're going through childbirth. You're not supposed to call me that, bro. So the FaZe situation part 2 has just dropped. We're going to have to get to it. Yes, I'm recording this right after I recorded the last one. Go watch the last one if you don't know what's going on. But Blackboy Max versus FaZe Banks. And as of right now, it does look like a show. Apparently, Banks has responded to Max, and then Max responded again. And now, like I said or teased in the first video, Banks is trying to sue Max or sue his cousin. I don't know if Omizi's gonna get to it in this video, but if not, I'll let y'all know about that after this. Well, it looks like I got content for days. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Since Max wanted to go live and talk about standing on business, and I was right, and look who was right, and I left FaZe first, and look at me, 100K viewers, highest off the clout, just proving everything that I said.
This Banks was calling Max in the car. And they're like, yo, this Silky, though, he's lazy. Not even knowing Max is on speaker. Silky is right next to Max.
Apparently I'm this awful, terrible guy, monster, who Max had all these issues with.
Max and Banks got in an argument. He calls
apparently I'm this monster and this terrible guy that Max has all these issues with. Oh my god, like everybody just hates me. Like I do nothing wrong. Shut the up. You're 40, gang. Like I'm gonna be honest, bro. You too old to be doing. It's not even an age thing. It's just nobody feels bad for you, bro. Like genuinely. Yo, I heard he said the N-word too. Like he called Max yeah, like what are we talking about, man? Nobody feels bad for you. Like, nah, bro. I'm sorry. I just hate when people do that.
Other FaZe members and says this.
Now I thought I was gonna have a brief moment of rest in this entire FaZe saga, but before
easy in a robe. Yo, he's enjoying this to his full extent.
Before I could really shut my eyes and close my PJs in my robe to give myself a little bit of a break, FaZe Banks came out and did his scorched earth attempt about Blackboy Max, seemingly exposing him as being some sort of liar, deceiver to his audience, trying to get the community to galvanize some sort of support around him. But I'm gonna be quite honest with you. Everything I watched from those videos to those text messages just confirms everything that I've been saying for the past year about the FaZe collective. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way. Us unemployed gotta stick together during this holiday season. Now,
hit that like button too, and
I know eventually that one of these FaZe guys will be the one to pop the top off of everything. When I got called out last year by Ron, Lacey, and Banks, and we had our whole Discord argument, I saw who was reacting, how they were reacting, and what they were saying. And there was one person who kind of just stayed silent, just kind of watched, that's tough, etc., but didn't join in on the dog pile for the most part. And that was my good buddy Blackboy Max. Since that situation, he took his departure from the FaZe collective, saying that he had mental health issues, he was struggling to find himself, he was burnt out from his 365 challenge, and specifically, well, really unspecifically because he couldn't get into too many details, he didn't have ownership of anything. If you're new to this saga and you haven't tapped in just quite yet, Blackboy Max's cousin, Fatboy Dip, came to the internet exposing how the FaZe collective wanted to charge Blackboy Max an insane amount of money for housing.
Gang, you see that little townhouse that Max was in? They tried to make that pay 20 bands a month. What the
20 bands a month?
Or give a percentage of myself. What the
What? Now later on in his own stream, Blackboy Max would all but verify the claims that his cousin made, and ultimately sprinkling on some more seasonings to the healthy stew that says that FaZe Clan was ruined by FaZe Banks. Now there's a deeper conversation about how the FaZe collective wanted to come back and recoup a whole bunch of money from them, which we'll get into it at a little bit of a later time. But ultimately just know that FaZe Banks was called out by Blackboy Max. Now this situation would cause FaZe Banks to do a retaliation. And in that retaliation, FaZe Banks naturally would go on the defense, saying that, you know, these guys were fake and ungrateful.
I just watched some clips from this Blackboy Max stream where he's playing a laugh track over my tweet, and it's like, Max, I know we've had like our individual differences, and I know I haven't really seen eye to eye with a lot of the talent because truthfully and honestly, I find you guys all to be incredibly ungrateful. I find you guys all to have insane egos, and I think it's disgusting and makes me sick to my stomach that your guys' relationships with each other and with every other streamer, and your community included, is so incredibly fake. You guys are the best actors on planet Earth.
Now go into detail.
Bro, there was a rumor that Banks was fucking sketch. And that's why they caped so hard for Sketch when he was going through the allegations. Or not the allegations, it was true, you know. And he got leaked and exposed that he was gay. I ain't saying that shit true. But, and I hate calling men sassy, but oh my God, yo, this nigga Banks is sassy. Like, he's genuinely a sassy man. Like, and I hate using that term because these girls use that shit to the gutter, calling any retaliation to anything they say set. But like, nah, bro. I ain't gonna lie, this nigga sassy.
Community included is so incredibly fake. You guys are the best actors on planet Earth.
Not going into detail in the live stream that I just did in the previous video, but ultimately that set off the chain reaction. That chain reaction would lead to a scorched earth moment where Blackboy Max's cousin Fatboy Dip came back to the internet and revealed even more secrets that would disprove any narratives about this collective organization being genuine, friends, etc., and that there wasn't any sort of nefarious deeds behind the actions that FaZe Banks and whoever the ownership group was doing.
This nigga Banks was calling Max in the car, saying like, yo, bro, they were just talking. And they're like, yo, this nigga's silky, though. He's lazy as fuck. Da-da-da-da-da. Yo, you would have thought we was in a skit talking crazy shit, not even knowing Max was on speaker. Silky is right next to Max, talking crazy shit about the nigga in Miami, saying this nigga's lazy, I don't know about this nigga. And when he comes back, yo, this is my brother. So
I can see Banks saying that though. Like, I feel like he's not lying about this, bro. He's not. I could just feel it.
Oh, I guess we all fake then, nigga.
Guys, I've been waiting for this moment for so long. I don't think people really understand how hard it is to contain the excitement that I have. Last year on the live stream, FaZe Banks said that all of this was genuine. All of this was real. And I don't know about you guys, but I wouldn't genuinely or really real talk behind my friend's back or my bro's back. That just seems like somebody who is fake and who is a deceiver to me. He also made a claim that there weren't financial ties to these guys, which I guess on paper at the time were to be true. But at that moment, I know for a fact that FaZe Banks and the FaZe Collective, I'm talking about the ownership group, were ultimately going to want to seek financial gain from these guys. So it makes a lot of sense why Blackboy Max's cousin would talk about this Spotify deal that was secretly and under the table put in for Blackboy Max in order for, you know, the FaZe Collective to benefit and Max not see any money behind it. A conversation about brand
Did he put this clip in here? Okay.
Deals came up. And for those that don't know, this is where the management companies get a lot of their dollars and cents. That's where they take their 15, 20, 30, 40% of the cut. And when Blackboy Max had his room decorated, all of a sudden there was a big Spotify logo in the background. Now, naturally, because these are young kids, they think it looks cool and official, but I know that that's not cool and official like that. What happens is ultimately once these things get clipped up and repurposed and repackaged, that's an ad that goes across TikTok 40,000 times, not just by the creator themselves, but by all the clip pages, the meme pages, etc., etc. Just a perpetual ad that will always exist in your background. But somebody has to pay for that perpetual ad. And if somebody has to pay for that perpetual ad, that means somebody has to, you know, make bank off that perpetual ad. But Max wasn't making the bank. It seems that FaZe Banks was making the bank.
Nigga, I'm like, gang, you're Blackboy Max. You can get that yourself. And if you want to split it, that's cool. What the fuck? So we end up taking it down. Little dude, we know they're selling his identity without letting him know.
Wow.
And so Max ends up leaving FaZe. We only knew this because he left FaZe. He got the deal on Spotify. They dropped FaZe and gave it to Max. Guess how much this was for? 400 bands for 5 months. Niggas about to run off half the ticket off a nigga. Half the ticket off a nigga. Chat, just so this makes sense, imagine LeBron James and the Lakers working together and the Lakers take all the money from a commercial with beats.
Now pay close attention because this is where it really gets interesting. That sponsor game and ad game is where like a lot of dollars.
And the fact that they ain't tell Max, yo, you feel me, you got this, that from that shit. That should be illegal. I feel like he should sue, like low key. Like that gotta be illegal.
And sense lies. And once these management companies start to come in, that's where they seem to reap their benefits and rewards. You'll notice that there's a shift in the types of sponsorships that these brands or entities or content creators can bring in. And that's due to the vested interest that, you know, these new management companies has. And that's not me just saying this. Fellow FaZe member FaZe Swag even talked about how the ads and sponsors just switched up. One day they were getting things like big contracts from Porsche, McDonald's, Xfinity. And the next thing they could only get was 4 logo deals. It didn't make sense.
The boys are at the height of everything. They're back-to-back orgs of the year. Fucking demons. Everybody in FaZe averaging 10, 20K. Oh, you know, all the boys are averaging 10, 20K viewers, and then like the best sponsor we could grab was Four Loko. It was. I was sitting there thinking like something's weird. Like I feel like, especially with now, the best we can do is Four Loko, bro. There's 7 people in FaZe averaging 20K viewers. These motherfuckers, they should have been on a cover of cereal boxes.
Yeah.
Like I was sitting there like, wait, there's something's not making sense. Like how the fuck like 2 years ago did we have Porsche and McDonald's?
Hell, even friend of the show TK exposed some messages between him and FaZe, or ex-FaZe, Your Rage, about the money situation and how fucked up it was. Chasing that money trail reveals all secrets. And that's where you get FaZe's majority owner, Matt Kalish, co-founder of DraftKings and CEO of Hardscope, the production management company that's over FaZe. He basically verifies the claims in a
Banks is invested or has a stake in Hardscope. I said that in the last video. I forgot what company it was, but it's Hardscope, and Hardscope is investing in
Bloomberg article about the unsustainability of the current FaZe structure, but more importantly, the fact that he injected a bunch of money into them and then ultimately tried to recoup it in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Now, he did give the option for them to go independent, but ultimately the deal that they were signing is the deal that FaZe members are talking about being a 360 deal. Now, on one end, I get it. It's a business. You want to make some money. But on the other end, FaZe Banks told me, Omar, Omeezy, a year ago, that this wasn't about the money. This wasn't about all this other stuff. This was just about friends coming together and making content. I call bullshit. It was bullshit back then and it's bullshit now. And the reason why I took you down that little detour is because guess who also is a part of that Hardscope acquisition of FaZe? That's right, Banks.
Banks was pushed out of FaZe by the FaZe members, right? And they wanted Kalish to run it. So now there's this thing called Hardscope that now owns FaZe, which Banks has a part of. So you still part of FaZe. What are you talking about? Niggas is liars, bro. You still are part of FaZe because you own Hardscope, nigga.
So simple. So Banks. And in the last part of this live stream by Fatboy Dip was FaZe Banks being accused of saying the N-word in reference to Plaqueboy Max. He called up the other FaZe members after he left and said, yo, this nigga is tripping, basically.
When Max left, he called him like, yo, bro, why you leaving? Why you leaving? He would give him all the reason. He's like, yo, bro, the last reason for real was you called me a nigga. You know what this response was like? Who said that? Who said that? Who said that? What? And he's like, bro, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I know you said that shit. He's like, bro, I was angry, but keep it a buck, bro. That's not the reason you left FaZe. Keep it a buck. Don't put that on me, bro. You know I'm going through a lot, bro. You know I love you.
You know I'm going through a lot. Yo, what? You just called me a nigga. What are we talking about? I don't care if you're going through childbirth. You're not supposed to call me that, bro. Yo, you know what's crazy? Bro, white boys get tattoos. They start getting haircuts and shit. They start talking to black women and now they think they can say nigga, man. That's what it is, bro. You get one light skin, now you think you got the pass, bro. Come on, man. What are we talking? You friends with one black person, now you think you got the pass, bro. What are we talking about, man? Don't put that on me. Nah, bro. I ain't gonna lie. If I'm Max, I'm leaving too. I'm leaving immediately. You have the audacity to say that to me? Behind my back, thinking I wouldn't find out? What else do you say about me, man? What else do you say about me? I thought we was brothers. I thought you loved me. I'm telling y'all, gang. Banks, that's a LA nigga. It's a LA.
Through a lot. I'm going through a lot. Don't put that on me, bro.
Now, in that short 17-minute live stream, there was a lot of damning evidence about the other ways that, FaZe Banks was a part of the snaking of the FaZe members. And just to put the sprinkle on top, he also outlined the fact that FaZe Banks called Max a racist slur. Just full stop. Coming from a black man. Calling a black man from a white man, the word nigga is a racist slur. Don't let nobody tell you any different. So between all the internet drama, all the people dogpiling on him, making claims that, you're a deceiver, you're a liar, you're all this, that, and the third, FaZe Banks would have a lot to address when he came back to the internet. And you'll never guess what he decided to address and not address in all of it.
As it goes for this word that I said, first of all, I didn't say this targeted toward you. This wasn't said in any sort of racist connotation. I said this word in an emotional response, and I said, fuck all y'all blanks. And it's...
Guys, get this. He didn't call Max a nigga. He just said, fuck all y'all niggas. So it's not as bad, right? Right? It's not as bad, right? Right? What the fuck are you talking about? Yo, what? You thought that was gonna make it better for you? You still said it. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Are you brain dead, gang? Like, what? You still said the word.
A fucking mistake, and I'm fucking retarded. I'm a 34-year-old man-child, and I have many, many flaws. And I'm an idiot for saying that.
You see, and this is why I hate y'all black asses on this internet. Y'all have white men justifying the fact that they didn't say a racist slur in a racist way. God, this shit pisses me off. Yeah,
like,
you guessed it. He didn't acknowledge the things about him taking money, him owning a part of FaZe, these 360 deals. He didn't acknowledge any of that.
Because it's all true. It's all true. And if he says anything not saying that shit or disclaiming that shit, that's when the floodgates really gonna start opening. That's when it really is going to get bad. Because I just have a feeling. I have a feeling there's something way worse that's going on. Because apparently they're all signed to NDA, so they can't really say shit. This is the only thing we can really get out. And Fatboy Dip is really the only one leaking shit because he's not under NDA, right? But I have a feeling that it's a lot more shit that's way worse. That's way worse that we don't even know. That they can't say or they know they gonna get sued. I just have a feeling. And I don't know if y'all people, Max is dead ass making Fatboy Dip his informant or like his spokesperson, bro, because he can't say that shit.
He's substantial way. He acknowledged the fact that, him and Max have been talking. Him saying the N-word actually wasn't really a problem, which is crazy.
Totally, guys, it's not an issue because I didn't say it to Max. I just said it about people. Yeah, fuck all y'all. I just said it as a term, as a saying. So you say it often, because you must say it often if you didn't think that was that bad.
I mean, and the fact that Max is bringing up all this stuff right now is because he has some sort of ego, and he's the Travis Scott of the group, and he just wants to be popping and lit and blah, blah, blah. Oh, God, it's so hard to take this man serious.
Because his cousin just went live, and apparently I'm this fucking awful, terrible guy, monster, who Max had all these issues with. But as you'll see, and when I share our conversation, that's not the energy that Max has given me over the last 5 months. As a matter of fact, and not to spoil anything, but I've talked to Max more in the last 5 months than every other FaZe member combined. Max has asked me for opinions on everything from creative to content to his career. He's asked me personally for help managing his career from here on out. He's confided in me about his team sucking and things falling apart. And the big one, since Max wanted to go live and talk about standing on business and I was right and look who was right and I left FaZe first and look at me, 100K viewers, high as fuck off the clout and the fucking engage, just proving everything that I said 100% right yesterday. This streamer brain shit is real. They are actors. And he jumped on this opportunity not because he cares about anything that I've done or cares about anything that I've said. It's because it makes the most sense.
Bakes will go on a long monologue talking about how Blackboy Max constantly hit him up, was actually still friends with him, and didn't actually have these feelings that were, depicted in his cousin's stream. Now, we'll decipher through some text messages here in a second, but I just want you guys to know that he never even addressed any of, the claims about him owning this, him doing that, being not genuine in this conversation, the third, the fourth, the fifth, and the sixth. It's funny because when we had that live stream exchange, he was so gung-ho and proud to dispel any narrative about, his knowledge about different things, people taking advantage of these guys, the genuineness of the relationship. But all of a sudden, he is mums the fucking word. It's amazing to me how quiet he is about the actual facts and stuff that probably matters more than, Blackboy Max texting you and y'all's feelings and this, that, and the third. Did you take advantage of them, Banks? Yes or no? Go react. That's all we want to know. I do want to circle the block back here on this whole N-word saga, because instead of just plainly taking accountability, and I just mean leaving it at a full stop, yeah, I did say that shit and it was wrong, etc., etc. No, Banks doubles, triples, and quadruples down on the deflection game and says, hey, I did say that, but you don't actually care about those things because you would have been brought it up. And in fact, your buddies say it too. And do you care about that?
If you really have a problem with that, then why has it not been a problem for the last 5 months? If you really have a problem with that, why have you told me multiple times I don't have a problem with that, we're good? If you really have a problem with that, and I can say this, Ron, last subathon, fucking said it. Muted his mic and said it. The chat laughed, and everybody told him to say it, and he said it. Lacey has admitted to saying it publicly. You know this. So why isn't that a problem? Other members in FaZe have said it in the confines, behind the scenes, off cam, in the presence of other black creators and FaZe members. And this was never a problem. It's only a problem now because it's convenient for you and for this narrative to make me look like shit and to make you look right.
Damn.
So it's only yo guys, get this. It's not bad, right? Because everybody else in our weird ass group says the N-word too. So I'm not just the only bad guy. Everybody else is, and obviously you're just a coolish little boy because you just allow us to say it. You don't say anything. That's basically what he's saying. Deflecting. It's basically what he, like. What? You're ignoring the point. Also, if all of that shit's true, niggas really need to start talking my FaZe in a different light, because that's weird as fuck. I'm gonna be honest. But you're deflecting, gang. You're deflecting. You're deflecting like shit, man.
Sounds like those cultural differences that I was talking about last year. I really do hate the fact that y'all have these white creators coming on the internet talking about how it's okay to say the N-word in any way, shape, form, or fashion. And these guys said it, and those guys said it, and everything's just comfortable saying. That shit really annoys me. Aiden's whack ass said some comments about it too, and I really can't get behind that shit. That shit is stupid. But nonetheless,
bro, what do you say? This is 100% a scapegoat. They don't actually give a fuck. Ron and Lacey admit to saying it all the time, and you guys don't care. We need to be consistent. Of course he will say some shit like this.
Some comments about it too, and I really can't get behind that shit. That shit is stupid. But nonetheless, FaZe Banks would go on after the video to break what a lot of people would consider to be a cardinal sin, releasing text messages that would seemingly show that, you know, Max kind of regrets some of these situations, how, you know, he didn't actually care about the N-word, how they still rock with each other, etc., etc. Max,
this that pussy shit. This that pussy. This is what really made me like. Oh, because when I seen this shit on Twitter, bro, when I seen this shit, because I didn't want to react to, I wanted to wait until I read this shit, right? I wanted to wait until I read this shit, but I seen that Banks did leak the text. Yo, whenever you do that shit, just know you're a bitch. Because no matter what beef we're going through, unless it's about SA or murder or some crazy serious shit, nothing is deep enough to leak text messages, bro. That's private shit. Private information, and he texted you that thinking in good faith. So for you to go behind it, like even when y'all are beefing or whatever, for you to go and leak that shit with zero context, I'm assuming you're fucked up, man. Like this is pussy shit, man.
Would say allegedly, like I said, the N-word and contract shit threw me off bad, bro, but I'm past that, and we talked about it, so I don't give a fuck, and I get your POV.
I get your POV. Max, dog, I don't know. Yo, somebody call me a nigga. Yo, one of my boys call me a nigga. Yo, we done being friends, bro. I'm gonna be honest. Like in that context, especially because he's mad at me. If he's mad at me and he calls me a nigga, I don't know if we friends after that. Nah, bro, nah.
I do find it weird when black people let white people say the N-word, but I do find it very choice that Banks addressed this in this fashion. And it's also interesting that he keeps saying like, yo, these creators keep playing this community game, trying to galvanize these people. But I can kind of see through this smoke screen dance. Obviously, there would be a bunch of black people, commentators, you know, onlookers, fans, etc., that would get upset finding out that white people are saying the N-word. They would also, though, get upset that there are black people who allow these things. So I believe that Banks is using this as some sort of ammunition to try to turn the guns.
Nah, it's for sure interesting. I'm not gonna lie about it. At the same time, I see what Banks is trying to do. He's trying to deflect shit. Banks is very manipulative.
Towards a black boy Max. But I'm gonna be honest with you, gang. I'm not gonna get caught in that smoke screen dance. We can address that later. You spent all this energy exposing the DMs of a young man who was going through a mental health crisis, which we talked about earlier in this year in a separate video. You spent all that time exposing those text messages to a community of people to do their own interpretations in an attempt to prove that y'all were in good standing. And I do want this to serve as some sort of like PS in an attempt to prove that y'all were in.
Okay, I can't pick up right now. I had a question though, but before that, you've been good, better than ever, man. In a really good bag right now, and God really got me. You tried to call a couple times while you were in the hospital. Happy it wasn't anything crazy serious. That's wild. Health is everything. Put shit into perspective for sure. Why are they texting like Kanye, gang?
Good standing. And I do want this.
Let me go back to his text.
Do their.
Thank you. I'm glad you're doing well. I've just been working, taking a step back to look at everything as a whole, my career, streaming landscape, what I want to do and be in life, and just trying to get better mentally and shit. But I'm back now. I'm about to take it there. But my question was, why do you think the desktop streaming died, and what do you think is the future of the shit, of the streaming shit? Like, where is it gonna go? Because the best thing you can do is being honest with yourself, killing ego.
Own interpretations in an attempt to prove that y'all were in good standing. And I do want this to serve as some sort of like PSA to Blackboy Max or any of the young streamers out there. Yo, these people are not your friends. So you confiding in them thinking that they are is only going to hit you back in the face. Because the way that this narrative is trying to be painted is the fact that you didn't give a fuck and you made a mistake and you did X, Y, and Z, all while misdirecting us and redirecting us to something totally different from the actual conversation at hand. Now, I do like to acknowledge that Blackboy Max did fire back at him. Blackboy Max says, I joined FaZe at 20. I respected Banks. After I left FaZe, Banks would call me saying I needed him and my career was falling off. He took advantage of the fact that I was depressed and in the hospital. At one point, I let all the calls get to me and asked to join FaZe again. But I kept going, and in November, I was introduced to a manager who helped me realize that a lot of the things he told me were lies. I've since leaving worked with bigger guests and brands and have a 2026 plan that is only even bigger than what I've accomplished so far. Yeah, and that's probably gonna check out because you don't have somebody who is attached to DraftKings pushing for the brands and the sponsorships. Of course, they would do the people that fit best with their program on your platform first. That's just how that goes. Now, naturally, Banks did not like this. He would send his retaliation, more so targeting that retaliation to the fact that, yo, this guy is a liar. The things that he said was not true. He's deceiving everyone. And
Moist is a liar. You guys see what that way I spoke to him via our text messages. I always handle with care. He fucked his friends over, left because he thought he was the program. He has admitted multiple times it was strictly a career move. Doesn't mean he's the program. What are you talking about? Like, what? The kid thinks he's Travis Scott, and it's a shame it's come to this line on dragging someone who's only ever helped you, botting views. All right, bro. Let's put a timeout on this. Let's put a timeout on this. Nah, this botting views shit. Banks, you know good and damn well you's botted these niggas, man. You know good and damn well, bro. You know good and damn well. You were investing money botting these people's views, botting their subs. You know that, gang. You know that. That was you. That was you. And even if Max did do that after you left or he left FaZe, he's only doing that now because actually, I don't know. I'm not finna just defend that nigga for that. I ain't gonna lie. But look, you was botting his views, bro. Like, let's be honest.
In fact, he hates his friends. Like, he turned his back on his friends. He fucked them over, etc., etc. And he gave the ultimate, and I do mean ultimate cardinal sin, and placed that onto Blackboy Max, saying that he botted views. But the reason why a lot of this stuff isn't hitting as hard as FaZe Banks thinks it should be is because of a couple things. One, he has a terrible track record in history as a content creator, as a business person. Like, community-wide, people do not fuck with FaZe Banks. You know, there's some diehards that are still phasing it up out there, but ultimately there are people who have talked about the crypto schemes. There are people that talked about the allegations about him and the young girls. There are people who are starting to peel back the layers on the onion that is FaZe Banks, and boy, it is starting to stink up. And number two, if you're about to expose the fact that Max had bots, you're gonna have to expose the fact that a lot of these guys, specifically all the FaZe guys, had bots because they would get those bots from their management company. And guess who their management company is? You, dummy!
You had the bots, bitch! That's what you do! You're a background character talking like you fucking Beyonce. Nigga, you the fuck, yo, bro.
Bro, he's Diddy for the documentary, gang. Yo, remember, yo, if you watch the Diddy documentary, you remember what Suge said, bro? Hey, if you don't want your producer and manager over here dancing like he in the song, come sign with Death Row. That's what Banks is, bro. Banks is Diddy, man.
Yo, this is Destiny Child. Get your ass in a back, nigga. All the black men and all the one Jewish man and the one fat nigga and the one Asian nigga.
made you.
The reason why Banks isn't going into a lot of details and trying to do these personal attacks on Plaqueboy Max is because every time he speaks, he pokes holes in an argument that'll be favorable for him. He's the problem. Like, let's not get that twisted. Let's not get that misconstrued. Like, he is actively the problem in all these situations. And I'm so glad that people are starting to wake up to the fact that he came and he bullied me too. Max, I'm on your side. He bullied me too, gang. He bullied me too, but I'm glad we can sit on the same side together and really acknowledge that he's the problem. Max clapped back with a closing argument about him not being a liar and how this narrative isn't sticking like Banks thought it would, because to be quite honest with you, it kind of...
Okay, now liar, I just went against you and stood for myself and you aren't okay with that, so now you are crashing and using any narrative you think you can cling on to try and destroy a young nigga chasing his dreams. Sad, Ricky, sad. To the right is text risk. To the right is text Ricky said my aunt was changed since then, Ricky. Nothing except that you no longer have control over me. Okay, I want to see that message. Does he show it? Oh, yeah.
Isn't. Now, granted, a business had to be done, but you didn't do it genuinely, like you said you did. And now you're attacking Max while simultaneously sending messages to his aunt about how...
I don't have to tell you this, but Max is genuinely an amazing person, incredibly human, humble, and beyond grateful. I've worked with the biggest of the biggest. It's unfortunate to see greed, ego... Why are you texting his aunt like this? What the fuck? Greed, ego, all the worst things that start to creep in following success as often as it does, but Max has faded all of it. Okay. My favorite Max moment of all time, the moment I knew it was safe to give him everything I had, and the second I realized I was riding for this kid for the rest of my life, or his rest of his life, is when he came to the house and saw the potential and was so grateful for the moment. They slept on the fucking couch in the living room for like a month. Love him truly. Love all of these boys. We really are a family, and I thank God every day for them. You was just talking so good about this guy. Now he's a bitch. Banks, you're weird.
How he's one of the best kids out there. I don't know. By the time this video gets out, the other guys will have had spoken about what's going on. They're supposed to be doing a live stream very soon together, collectively, maybe separately, but like collectively at the same time. And I'm curious as to what they say when they finally speak out. I think that they'll...
Okay, let's do some independent research and give me a second. Okay, did a little bit of research, right? And this is some of the things I found. Okay, first off, I've said this before, but every single FaZe member has left, including FaZe Rug, officially left. This one really hit me, because like I was like, damn, Rug be chilling. FaZe Apex, I don't really know who he is, but apparently he's a big, like, he's a long-standing FaZe member. 15 years. He joined in 2011. Now he's leaving this shit. So this isn't just the new FaZe boys leaving, it's everybody. Gang. FaZe Clan is over. FaZe Swag. Oh my God. Like, yo, this shit done. And I was looking more into the FaZe Banks and Max situation, bro. Yeah, man, I feel like Meezy finna drop a video about this next. But yeah, he apparently in some allegations with Charlie D'Amelio. Now look, I'm gonna show you the clip. Because, probably shouldn't show you the clip for legal reasons. But apparently, Fatboy Dip allegedly said that he alluded to, Banks maybe cadoodling with Charlie D'Amelio, potentially when she was under the age of 17. Look up the clip. I don't want to show it to y'all because nigga, fuck it. I don't care. Nigga, what Banks gonna do? Sue me? The fuck? Pretty sure the clip would probably be cooked now, boy. But fat boy dip. So I can't find a Fat Boy Dip clip no more, but Bruce Drop Him Off got one too, of course.
Charlie D'Amelio, you was able to...
This is the caption. Bruce Drop Him Off accuses Banks for grooming Charlie while she was you feel me? You're a groomer, weirdo. She was 17, Ricky.
I knew it. That's how you got Charlie D'Amelio. You was able to manipulate her because she was young, and you were 20 plus years older than her. You manipulate her. You're a groomer. Weirdo.
So, yeah, and Fatboy Dip said it too, but they've taken the clips down. Maybe, can I find it? Yeah.
Put it on God. You wasn't fucking Charlie D'Amelio when she was 18.
Ah!
You ain't fucked that bitch when she was 17.
Ah!
Now, gang, I did a little something. Like, I see she's from Massachusetts, too. Like, you slid in her shit like, yo, I'm...
Yeah, that clip popped off. Banks wasn't going for that. But this is a weird way. No, this is not the clip. This is a weird way of saying it. Well, the way he said it was very weird. I'm not gonna lie. Despicable, he's seen the clip. Despicable, evil human beings. All right. While the ultimate line has been crossed, to lie about something so disgusting and harmful is despicable. You guys are pure evil. For the record, I first met Charlie in April of 2024, a couple weeks before her 20th birthday. Our relationship is nobody's business, and it's disgusting that these people lied about it to hurt me with zero regard for how it affects her. I'm on the phone with Charlie as I type this. This is beyond unfair. Neither her or I deserve this. And again, we will be in pursuit of truth and handling this legally. Moving forward, our lawyers will be in contact with Blackboy Max's team. And you see right here, Charlie, it's her official account. Put a thumbs up. Wow. Interesting. But you guys see what Banks is doing. He's just deflecting. He's deflecting a lot. He's trying to move the issue around. Taking whatever he can to move the issue around. Now, look, I will say this. Fatboy Dip and Bruce both said this. I don't think they really cool with each other. I don't think they're really aware of each other. Two separate people, two separate entities who have no involvement with each other both made these accusations against you. You saying you met her on her 20th birthday. Yeah. I don't know if I really believe that. I ain't saying you did anything. But two people said it. I ain't gonna lie. The more people who say something, the more I start questioning. You know, that's all I'll say about that. This is the end of FaZe Clan. I wish you could see my heart. I'm sorry to everyone I let down. Sincerely, I tried my best. Wishing everyone involved a happy, healthy, and successful life moving forward. It's over. I give up. I quit. Amen. Just tweeted. We just got this. So that's confirming the end of FaZe Clan. I think that's all I'm finna show you for today. That's all that's going on. I'm gonna keep y'all posted with this as we keep on going. Of course, today isn't really a big FaZe day because, well, besides, the obvious. Some other shit is going down right now, and that video will be coming out tomorrow. I'll be back in this chair reacting to that shit because it is December, and I am getting my bag, gang. And this shit is actually interesting. I ain't gonna lie, I'm parasocialed out, bro. Y'all can call me unemployed. I'm unemployed today, man. I ain't gonna lie. Yo, this shit is mad interesting to me. This drama is, I live for shit like this, gang. That's sad, but sometimes, no, fuck it. I live for this shit, gang. I don't care. I live for the bullshit. I live for the fuckery. So look, anyways, that's all I gotta say for that. I'm gonna keep you posted with this. Probably be a part 3 to this edition, and also I'm excited to see this little novelty video about Casanat or Omeezy, whoever drops it first. So as that Sky, you say, follow me to your other opinions about it. Down in the comment section down below. Shout out to the Pop-Tart Bowl, and besides that, we out. So spam up Pop-Tart Bowl down in the comment section. Fuck it. Just do it.